I wanted to ask, I wanted to ask a little bit about, we were already speaking about the glass painting and the Bavarian folk art. It kind of has a history of being related to spiritualism, I think, on its face, just as folk art, but also by artists like Kandinsky, who were interested in the use of color and interested in the viewer's response.
Yes.
And I found that when I was looking, especially at the image of Santa Maria in Trastevere, at the Mass, and the yellow behind it, and the fact that it's on glass, and it seems
it's
to
brown behind it.
Behind, pardon. Brown, yes.
Yeah.
But you were speaking about light.
Yeah.
And it was interesting to be looking at it and see the light coming out from it, but also seeing yourself reflected.
Yes.
So I don't know if it was a question or more of a comment, but I found it quite...
Yeah. And this is not a mass. This is it's a...
Generally Natale, no? Like a...
Yes, it's a Christmas dinner
dinner
for homeless people. Yeah.
Sorry, not much of a question, more of a comment.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, well, who am I to answer all the time?
So when the public comes to view your work, I'm not asking if you have any expectations for them or you expect them to come in with the background of your work as we did, but is there something to be experienced? Not
for
in
them?
particular, but not a goal, but
No.
just a feeling?
No. I think every viewer is different. I think the whole notion of viewer experience as something that can be planned or aimed for is highly manipulative and wrong. And you know also maybe the experience that you go into a certain exhibition twice and have totally different experiences because you come with another, your day was different or so.
Yeah.
So I think.
And well, in relation to that about expecting something from the work, we saw, for example, the table that would assimilate the table of the Last Supper. So we were thinking about iconographic, like an iconographic discourse, or if you think these images are just in your head, or you reproduce them by chance, or I mean just
No, not by chance.
in general. I know it's not by chance, but
So there are several tables in the exhibition, so it's really not by chance. It's a play on a certain iconography. So the fabric has to do with work uniform, but it has also to do with tablecloth. And there's a table in the entrance where I lay out a kind of Warburg Atlas, and also on this table there's an image of a table of the Last Supper, but it's next to a photograph of a painting by Manzoni that reminds in its folds of this tablecloth of the Last Supper next to it. So it's like a suggestion how we could read Italian modernism in painting in relation to Renaissance art history. Then there's the Christmas dinner in Santa Maria in Trastevere. Then there are the apples that reference another table that's on this table, which is Mario Merz's piece La frutta siamo noi. So there's the idea of Thanksgiving, and the question of the social around the table. And there's a photo of an altar in a real church in Rome, with glass on white tablecloth that references the glass paintings. Yeah.
do you feel that it's possible to build like a new iconography from like the high Renaissance iconography from the
I mean, I find it astonishing that Italian modernism like Fontana, Manzoni, and so on, has not been read in this direction. I find it astonishing that arte povera has not been discussed in terms of monastic movements. Yeah. I think these are totally like art historical gaps, definitely.
You're using the meaning of woodcut. I know you've already touched upon that a little bit, but reminds me a bit of, it's been a medium used for religious iconography since its inception, and you touch on religion a lot in your work.
Yeah.
Could you comment on that a little bit?
Yeah. So woodcut is the first pop medium. No? It's it's used for the mass production of images in the Middle Ages, and this is religious iconography because that's the iconography that was around back then, or main iconography that was around. And one reason I'm also interested in this iconography is because it's like the other of modern art, or of modern art since Renaissance, or it's like since we call it art. Yeah. And it touches upon the question of belief. How committed are you to your to the content of your work? Do you really believe that? What's your message? And these are questions that are relevant beyond my specific iconography, but I think they're relevant structurally. And if I work with religion, I can raise these questions of commitment.
Do you feel it's more tied to, because it's been in Italy, to Italy, or do you think it's a universal thing for you? Or
no, I think, I think that's not at all related to Italy. Yeah.
Conceived here, but goes further.
Yeah. And I've structurally worked with these questions before. It's like a method for me, to raise these issues.
Yeah.
On the back of that, I was just wondering about woodcut. You spoke about working as a conceptual artist, or working in a world of post-conceptualism. Speaking about woodcut as the first medium that was directly reproducible.
Yeah.
I guess your thoughts on that particular aspect of your work.
For example, I use screen prints and combine it with woodcuts to indicate that I'm interested exactly in the pop aspect of woodcutting. And then of course conceptual art is an anti-aura art. And I think something like on a guts level that I like about woodcut is that it's a reproduced image, but it's very auritic. It has an immensely deep black, for example. So the whole question of the aura in relation to reproduction is very interesting in terms of woodcuts.
Talking about more specific individual pieces, and we were looking around. We were quite interested in the one which has the ramp up the step.
Yeah.
Just saying, what were your thoughts behind that? Because to us, it read a sort of access to religion or home or wherever the door was leading. But I'm not sure whether you had other.
Yeah. Totally, it's a black square, no?
Yeah.
It also has to do with painting and with the monochromes. It's a monochrome, and it's a ramp for disabled people. Yeah, it's so the whole question of access. It's like you say, it's a very simple piece.
Yeah, it's really good.
Then there are these dots on it, no, so which somehow resonate with the grid, to my mind, of the pink tablecloth piece, which to me is a very cheap Agnes Martin. which also has to do with access in relation to art prices.
Yes. That's very powerful.
Yeah.
Very simple, very powerful.